right.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's About Life Podcast. Your boy Shane, aka Black Duplicate. What's up? So as you already know, we're trying to dive into money, right? Trying to dive into ways to help you fix your money, as well as me fix my money, and as well as everybody fix their money. But first, you got to get educated on what money is and figure out what it is not, right? So you want to dive down to the main roots, and you want to start looking at people that actually do talk about what money really is. You know, we're gonna get into some people like that, and I got a couple books for y'all to read as well. So one you can read is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Richest Man in Babylon, and then one of my books that I would highly recommend is 48 Laws of Power. 48 Laws of Power. Read 48 Laws of Power. It's a little expensive, but it's very useful, right? All right, so let's dive into some people that talk a little bit about money. This guy right here talks about taxes and how to use taxes to your advantage, right? He gives a very good informative description on what he does to capitalize on taxes. Right now, that's something I'm diving deep into right now as we discuss this podcast. Right now, I'm actually diving deep into trying to learn taxes myself. You know, there's a lot of good loopholes, a lot of ways you can capitalize on it, especially if a company or a business. You could always use that to your advantage to help you do things like take vacations or get tax breaks on your vehicles and all that good stuff. So he's going to talk about something interesting. So let's dive into it and see what he has to say.
This strategy is called your board of advisors. And the reason I teach this strategy is because it's not just about living tax-free. It's about living your best life and having the IRS pay for it. So if you're LLC, or S Corp, whatever, you can have a board of advisors. This could be your homies, your family members, whatever. The IRS allows you to have 4 board of advisor meetings per year, anywhere in the country you want. So you can go to Dubai with your family, call it a board of advisors meeting, sit there for 4 to 5 days, to talk business for 1 hour, and then go kick it the rest. And you can write off the cost of the flights, you can write off the lodging, you can write off the meals, all this stuff while you're traveling with your family and traveling with your friends. You now call it your board of advisor meetings. I'm going to Brazil next month to do mine.
You hear that? So the guy's taking free vacations, basically. Right? He's using the vacation as a business meeting with his advisors of his company. So they all meet up there, they talk for, an hour or 2 about business, whatever, and then they go off and enjoy themselves for a couple days, right? And then everything is considered a tax write-off because it was for your business. It's just like when you want to get a vehicle, right? If you have a corporation like a C Corp or S Corp, you can write that vehicle off as a company vehicle. I think it has like weight restrictions though. I think it has to be certain weights and stuff like that. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I'm diving into taxes right now, trying to learn it and understand it myself. So I'm not gonna give my own personal insight on this yet because I'm not super informed yet. So we will get into that soon. This next one coming up here is the man right here. This is the man right here. The real estate man right here. The Rich Dad Poor Dad. This is the guy that wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say Rich Dad Poor Dad is going to turn you rich or even get you to know anything unless you open your mind up and you actually really understand what he's saying. Right? You have to really think what he's saying. I would suggest reading Think and Grow Rich first. Think and Grow Rich, and then read Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's my own advice. Do what you want to do, of course. But he's going to teach us what money is. Now, it's not what you think it is. And then we're going to go deeper. And we're going to go deeper. And we're going to go deeper. Right? You got to uncover and you got to get it in your mind what it actually is. It's not what you think it is. Right? So let's start right now. Let's start with him.
Now, if I borrow money, guess what? Do I pay taxes on debt?
I guess no.
Why is that? Why is debt tax-free?
I don't know.
Because that's how money is created. And so the banks love it. They love people borrow lots of money. So how do I get rich? I borrow money. And I buy assets with it. The poor person borrows money and buys liabilities like purses, cars, houses, and they get poorer and poorer and poorer.
It makes perfect sense. Because I say they print money, but there's only like 2% of physical cash actually in the circulation. So they're not actually printing the money. They're creating the money with their banks, and then people go out there and borrow the money, and that puts the money into the economy, and that's how they create or print money. Makes perfect sense. It's debt. It's just debt. But it's good debt. It's useful debt. So you want to use that debt, like he said, to buy assets. Now, what are assets? That what we'll be talking about next time. I'm going to try to dive deep into helping y'all understand assets, right? Like speculative assets, all right? Which is basically crypto's a speculative asset, right? But remember, the cryptos that have real-time, real physical, utility that they're doing real world solve, right? They're solving solutions in the real world. That's a speculative crypto asset like HBAR or Algo, right? Or XRP. They have real world solve. Those are speculative assets, right? Now let's go deeper. Because now you know that you can use the tax system to benefit yourself financially, and then you know that money is created from debt. And now let's go deeper. She got a very, very interesting, explanation on what's going on financially within the system. So just pay attention and think about it. She breaks it down very, very nicely. I love it what she does. It's a little long, so bear with me. It's about 3 minutes. So bear with me and just try to pay attention the best you can.
I just went down an extremely deep and eye-opening rabbit hole.
Facts.
I might have to make 2 videos. This video is 3 minutes long. I apologize in advance for the length. So the rabbit hole started with a stupid TikTok that was like, you don't have to pay any of your debts. And they cited HJR 192 of the 73rd Congress, which actually was repealed at a certain point. Which got me wondering, why would the government be like, okay, yeah, you don't owe us anything for the next however long, and everything that you owe us right now, we're going to completely forgive it. Like, what made that start? So apparently the United States has been bankrupt 3 times. The first time before they were technically even a nation, the second time in the 1800s, and the third time in 1933.
1933.
President Roosevelt said,
33.
Screw gold money. We're not going to use that anymore. Also, everyone's gold money, I want you to turn it in. So that was when he issued the third bankruptcy. And so when that happened, essentially the government was obligated to give the people something of equal value to the gold that they took. And so now our
the
money
gold standard
isn't actually worth anything tangible. So even though they took back HJR 192, they still never actually gave us anything tangible in return for that. So actually, as far as I understand it, and I could be wrong, please let me know in the comments, but as far as I understand it, the American dollar is actually just a debt note. So every American dollar that you have in cash is just a note of debt that you have $1 of the United States as debt.
Yes.
Which begs the question, if America has no tangible money, then how do we spend it? The answer to that question is T-bonds, treasury bonds.
Yes.
Essentially, it's an
look
IOU
into
for
bonds.
The federal government. You give the government like a huge sum of money, right? And then they say, okay, well, we will give you this money back with interest. As long as there is a United States government,
very interesting.
This is a really safe place to put your money. So guess who buys all of these?
Banks.
Banks buy so many of these, okay? They buy them habitually. And when I learned that, all of the pieces came together for me. So we put money in the banks for free, and then the banks take our money and invest it in the government. The government pays them back with our taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we borrow money from the bank that we gave our money to for free, that gave the government money that the government uses our taxes to pay back. And then we pay the banks extra money for giving us our money back that they invested in the government.
Interest.
So I've heard this in bits and pieces before, but I didn't get every single piece of the puzzle right. Like, first of all, our government is still bankrupt. Like, the United States is bankrupt. Who knew that? I didn't know that. They didn't teach that in history book.
Of course. They don't want you to know that. If you did not understand what she just said, Please play that back. You have to understand what she just said. It's incredible. What she just said, the way she broke it down was perfect. Flawless. She did a marvelous job. If you didn't get it, you're probably gonna have to watch the whole video again. But we're gonna move on to the next guy right now. He brings a whole nother perspective. Everything's piecing together little by little. I'm trying to get you to understand all the pieces around, and then you could put the puzzle together. You can't put the puzzle together if the pieces are scattered on the board and you don't understand anything. So you got to gather up all the pieces, and you put it together, and you get a puzzle. You get a picture of exactly what the hell is going on, and then if you're smart, you use that, and voila. You know what I mean? So let's continue on.
Yeah, there's a reason why we don't know and understand what money is, how the banking system
works.
Yes,
he's gonna break it down. Interesting.
The more ignorant we are to it, the more the rat race can continue.
Exactly.
And the more things will go over our heads that we have that we just have no idea about. But money in itself, as a principle, I believe has intrinsic value. So that is why we use things in the beginning, such as gold and silver, precious stones, these types of things. Now, gold and silver have
liquid assets.
Value. You melt those down, and depending on the purity of the metal and how much you're actually using, you're going to get what is called the bullion value with a U. And then you put a stamp on it. Depending on the space it is, you're going to get a what is called a base value. And then you also have another kind of value, which is basically the value as a collector's item, which is called the numismatic value. Now, these all determine the market value of that coin, that precious metal, silver or gold. The things we actually use as money today, which include paper notes, cards, Bitcoin type digital currencies, this isn't money per se, in that it has actual intrinsic value. These are just certificates and notes representing something that actually has value. So you have a Federal Reserve note or a floating rate note, and it doesn't actually have any value, but it's supposed to be representative of something that does have intrinsic value. So the fact that you and I actually accept these paper notes is what gives it its value.
Exactly.
Whatever face value that's printed on it, when I say, hey, this is worth this much, and I'm handing this to you, and you accept it, it's the acceptance of it that gives it value. And of course, there are certain legal tender laws that essentially force everyone to take a Federal Reserve note as a form of payment, even though it has no actual value attached to it other than just accepting it for value.
True.
And then you also have asset-backed currencies, for example, the petrodollar, which is essentially money that is backed by oil.
Yes. I know about that,
the
petrodollar.
Commodity-based currency, which is called blood money, which is the value of your labor, your thoughts, your patents, your copyrights, your trademarks, your
basically
intellectual property. Because we trade money for goods, but we also trade money for services. So it is important to understand that we utilize the value of services just as much as we utilize the value of something like gold or silver.
Okay, so I'm going to go over real quick what you should have grasped. An introduction on how to use taxes to benefit yourself. Don't just run a TurboTax and get it over with. Actually do your taxes. Learn about it. Learn how to use this to your advantage, especially if you have a business or a company or something like that. If you don't, you might want to get one. They're not expensive to start a business or a company, right? And I'm going to be posting some videos on how you can apply for like business credit cards to get a shit ton of money to actually help you jumpstart your business, which I'm looking into to do myself. So once I actually physically do it myself, I'll definitely be giving my experiences on here, right? And then you got a breakdown of how to use the money, because the money is debt. So now you know how to create it, how they create it, right? And then you learned what the hell is actually going on with money and why it turned into what it is. and you got an intro to exactly how they're moving these pieces around financially within the economy, right? Just little introductory points. I'm gonna be doing a lot of these. Because I'm really interested in this, and I'm pretty sure there are people like me out there that are also very interested in this. If you're watching this, you're interested in this. So make sure you like the content and comment and whatever, and we can keep going and build it even more. But I like doing this. I love exploring finance. It's just, I don't know. I love it. But yeah, make sure you look into those books as well. I'll be trying to drop some books. Hopefully every video will be able to drop at least one book for you to dive deep into to get your mind right financially, right? I'm not saying it's wrong financially, but we can always do better, right? But yeah, that's just another video on how to fix the money. So we're going to be doing a lot of fix the money content. So make sure you like, share, subscribe to the content. I love y'all. It's Black Duplicate. It's About Life podcast, where we talk about every factor of life. It's what we do. You know what I'm saying? So I love y'all, and I'm out of here. Stay tuned for more, people. We out.